So the night passes and there's a knock at the door. Jace is stupendously hungover. His head is absolutely pounding.
Just slide on over to that door. I'm going to open it up.
Haru's there and he goes, I'm glad to see
Motherfucker.
Most of you were.
Sorry, I'm just massively disappointed to see you.
Oh, okay. Right. Well, I have to escort you to the arena again. I'm going to say that you're all fully healed.
Yee.
Except you are absolutely smashed, Jace. Like, your head hurts. You're getting disadvantage on anything if someone doesn't have something to fix you.
Someone definitely knows they have something to fix it and is just wondering if someone's going to say something very nice about them in order to get that fixing.
You're looking very slimy today.
I'll take it, and I punch him in the face, but like with the essence fire.
Smashing over the
Here you
head
go, buddy.
And somehow his headache feels better. It kind of soaks into his somewhat rubbery skin somehow. And
That's what we call that's the barrel hangover cure, just glass on.
The old Western Sydney handshake.
The bright lights that were too much before suddenly sort of lift and everything comes back to normal and you're not going to get disadvantage on everything as you were gonna. So you guys have walked out into the arena once again. Natsu's standing next to Fuyu and he's looking down at you guys with a bit of a look of concern. And Haru looks at you guys and looks into the center of the field and the giant white egg with gold chains is there. And he suddenly looks a little scared. But he also looks a little mad at Kendall, who did say he was horrifically disappointed to see him. And he hurries off. Hurries off. And the egg begins to crack.
I was expecting hot magic girl, and instead I got that fucking guy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh well.
I'm with you, but the story's not. So the egg begins
Society
to
isn't.
Light is just pouring out of it. And all those symbols that you actually see there on the arena, they start to appear on the egg. And out of it comes...
Oh,
this.
great.
It is massive.
Shit.
Yeah. Things aren't looking good. You guys feel a deep sense of fear. An actual halo starts to appear above this thing's head.
Perfect.
I'll get you guys to roll for initiative.
Right. I could
Right.
roll for funeral.
+2, I believe. Yeah. So 8.
Yep.
So 18 for the slime lord.
Yep.
I got me a 1.
Okay. So Panda is actually shaking right now. Staying next to you, nice and loyal, but terrified. Kendall, you're up first. This thing takes up most of the arena. Like, for perspective, you guys are the size of one of its claws.
I like these odds.
Sorry, friend. Look at that. People have put swords into you. That's so mean. I'll just go get those. And I try to take some of the swords out of its claw and act like.
Roll a persuasion. I'm going to allow this. I want to see.
That comes to a 2.
It's not persuaded. But it's not its turn either. So,
but it's got one less sword in it.
That's nice of you. Jace.
I'm pulling out the Warhammer and the Great Axe. Because I get 2 attacks, I'm just going to give him the old schmack with both the Great Axe and the Warhammer, just like spinning around.
You're just going to like Beyblade.
Yeah, 100%.
All right. You're going to hit it. I'll allow it.
Good.
But give me the damage on those.
Okay. That is a 6 of slashing from the Great Axe and a 2 from the Warhammer.
Okay.
So 8 total.
And that's after your Beyblade maneuver. You sort of stop on the spot, bit dizzy, but you've you've cut it with one of those. The other one, not so much. It just sort of chinked off a scale.
Woo, scale.
Woo.
Small victories.
It's the Seraph Dragon's turn. It's going to beat its wings, knock you all back 10 feet, which puts you back to the wall, all of you. And it's going to turn and just look at you, and it'll leave it there. It's your turn, Justin.
Oh, crap. And look at the boys and be like, look at me. Look, you, look at me. I think this is how this works. This isn't even my final form.
So Justin rises up, and where he had no hair before, fire comes out and goes straight up, and he bulks out. He becomes double his normal size. And his shirt just tears straight off, and he has an almost aura
my favorite shirt.
around him.
Go, Jackson!
And he's sort of hovering on the ground there. It seems like, despite the wings not working, he's gained flight. With flaming Hades-like hair, he stands there. It's still your turn.
Does my voice change?
Kendall hears that for once, whether he does anything with it or not. He heard it.
So,
with
was that your
turn-
new name with the new body?
Keep this going.
I turn on Kendall. That's it.
I got holy water, bitch.
Justin, what do you got?
I'm just like fly up, and then I start doing like a come here.
So he's
and then for like the next whole 10 minutes of time,
6
just there,
seconds.
just
So
Charging.
Justin's floating there in a charged stance with this ball just appearing in his hands on fire. And then we're back to Kendall.
What you got, Kendall? What you got? You gonna
Oh,
get twice the size and catch your hair on fire and then fly up into the sky and then throw like a fireball or something? Because that's what I'm doing.
Someone might not have had enough money for the artist to pay for everyone to get second forms.
didn't know that was an option. All right.
I paid for the DLC, bitch.
One of those pay-to-win games. Oh, I fucking know it.
Just give me anime titties. I just need bigger titties.
Okay. I go 25 feet forward. I'm like, eat me, you piece of shit. And I hold my action to, if it tries to eat me, I'm just going to go like slide.
I love it. All right. Jace.
Alrighty. So I'm just gonna keep spinning. I never stopped Beyblading.
Are you
Babe's
just going to keep going with your two-handeds?
Yeah, Babe's just gonna keep spinning, eh?
You're going to hit it.
Perfect.
But roll Constitution.
16.
You're okay. you keep spinning. You hit it with both. So another so roll for damage on those for me.
11.
For both?
Yeah, that was for both. So 4 of
They're both
bludgeoning.
slashing, so.
Are they?
Oh, no.
No, it's Warhammer and Great Axe that I'm using.
A warhammer, yeah, okay. Your slashing, like, makes a little bit of blood come out. The bludgeoning sort of indents a couple scales.
If it bleeds, I can kill it.
Cool.
I imagine I need sexy waifu voice, and that's definitely sexy.
That's something, yeah. So on the Seraph Dragon's turn, it looks at Justin and opens its mouth.
Oh crap!
Eat me,
Its mouth starts to glow golden.
my delectable little thing.
Roll a dexterity for me.
6.
Yeah, it's going to hit. Can you then roll one for me as well, Kendall?
It's an 11.
Oof. Okay, so a golden laser comes out of this thing's mouth. It hits Justin, and so you're spiraling through the air, but you sort of right yourself. That laser continues down and comes down at Kendall and just scorches the side of him.
Somehow I managed to like flip around and still be building up this spell.
Yeah.
And then unleash.
All right, so you charge the hell out of this thing. It glows bright red, and you throw it. It
Hell of a build up.
hits it, and sort of a puff of smoke comes out of its neck. But that's it. You're still right. You're still floating there in the sky, and you've got one more turn left of your transformation. But that's all that occurs with that.
Don't worry, smoke inhalation will get him.
We're back to Kendall. But just then, you hear this mad cackle. This maniacal laughter that's just chilling. Absolutely chilling. You look up at the island that Fuyu's sitting on, and the glowing crystal next to her is just pulsating, spreading light out everywhere. And then the dragon's head looks at her as it starts to dissipate and becomes absorbed into this crystal, and she is just absolutely losing it with laughter.
She saved us.
Praise Egg.
Our friend came to rescue us. Yay!
Yeah, sure. You
Thanks, Fred.
fools! I can't believe you fell for it. Your egos are out of control. That dragon was protected by powerful enchantments that made it impossible for anyone of this world to harm. Just to generate the box to contain it, and the chain, I had to sacrifice millions of lives to the orb. But now, you Outworlders inflicted just enough damage that I can be a god with its energy. She then looks at you guys and waves her hand. Can you all roll a d6 for me? Jace, nothing seems to occur to you because of your outrageous fucking luck.
Classic me.
I've got -2, so this is gonna go great.
Yeah, so you rolled a 3 -2.
Yeah,
So your body kind of changes.
cool.
You start to look more like yourself,
Yeah.
except you've still got gelatinous boobs
Yeah.
and one gelatinous arm.
You know, I could live with this.
Justin, 3 -1. You keep the wings, the horns. You were still transformed, so you're getting a little lucky here. Your hair's staying on fire, and you're still quite bulked out, but your legs become chicken legs. They look like your normal legs.
Yeah,
And you're kind
yeah.
of weirdly toppling strangely, but luckily you're still flying. Panda, what'd she roll?
3 as well.
She's just gonna have a giant wolf head on Panda's body. I don't know if you've seen his dog Kendall, but it's like this big.
Little Maltese.
So that's
Jeez.
so that's what's happened there.
Can it
She's
even
laughing
move?
hysterically. Nah, it's kind of on the ground and legs are flailing.
Can lick its way across, just like. pull
However,
itself.
just as I assume you guys are starting to despair somewhat,
Uh,
out comes Aki and says, "That's my slime human." Out
Sorry,
walks
Aki.
Natsu.
they changed
And,
me.
That's okay. She stands by your side, staff out held. Natsu walks out and he goes, nah, and he walks away. And out walks Haru. And he's like, oh, they were good drinking buddies. But he looks at Kendall. Kendall, we're both going to roll 2 d20s.
Okay. Like two each? Or
No, just 1 each.
okay, sorry.
What'd you
12.
get? I got a 12 too. We're going to do that again.
All right.
Oh shit. Just stare at each other for even longer.
5.
I got a 3. All right. Haru's gonna look past you and look at the other two and go, all right, and he walks out and holds his bow staff out, and he's ready to fight with you guys as well. So we're gonna re-roll initiative.
Did you guys not realize what was happening with the whole, like, the thing? What shit are you?
Is this you role-playing or you just breaking the game? Talking
No,
to them?
I'm role playing. I'm
Oh,
talking
no,
to the
right.
gods.
Oh, the other
Being
two?
like, are you serious?
They
You
knew.
serious?
You guys won them over, but you didn't win over Natsu. Because he was her most loyal. So I've been marking down how many times you guys are nice to them and how many times he's a shit to them.
Oh fuck! I really shouldn't.
Crap.
Yeah.
I did say very much at the beginning, interact with the characters. Natsu ended up neutral, and Haru was like, it was 1 point in the good, and I was like, oh, but Kendo was a bit shit to him on the last morning.
That's very
so
shit.
I rolled a 3 and you rolled a 5, so he came and helped.
Yeah, it looked past me to Jetson and Jace.
So let's go for initiative. I'm going to roll for Fuyu, Aki, and Haru.
I'll just cast Firebolt.
So Justin, because you just hit her,
I usually
and she's not a fan of fire, she's going to turn on you. Although she's real mad at Aki. So she's looking at both of you.
What's she mad at? What did Aki do to her?
She was the easiest for you guys to win over. They didn't get along, if that wasn't obvious throughout the whole story. She's actually going to turn on Aki, though.
Oh, you bitch.
And she's going to throw Ray of Frost. Gonna miss. She just aims and it just flies harmlessly by Aki, whose turn it is. She's quite mad at that. Gonna throw a dagger at her. She's gonna miss.
Yeah, this is a bit like a fucking Star Wars fight at this point.
Yeah.
How close? How close am I to this frosty bitch?
She came down off the island. She's right in front of you guys with ice everywhere. She still looks crazed and she's glowing. She's about 15 feet in front of you.
I'm going to adjust my top, get some more cleavage going on,
Good.
and then I'm going to pull out my warhammer from between my tits.
Okay.
Nice.
And then I'm just going to fucking belt her twice right in the noggin, or at least try to.
Give me a roll.
3?
That's gonna miss.
Yeah,
So you pull this thing out of your cleavage and you run at her, but your own boob sort of like throws you off and you hit the ground next to her.
it's an
Get 2 as a-
11.
That's still gonna miss. So you pick it up, and as you wildly swing, your boobs just keep carrying you, and you hit the other side of her.
Fuck this, I'm using action surge.
Hey.
Okay, cool.
So I'm going again! Swinging.
Roll again.
13. And a 7 damage.
So you just bonk her in the shoulder. She doesn't move a lot. Not as much as you would think when a full-blown warhammer just smacks into someone's side, but you definitely hit her. Like, you did something.
It's not the best bonk I've given, but, you know, I'll take it.
I'm looking at this Fuyu. You tried to hurt Aki. Wait, can I still engulf? No, because I got most of my own body back, right?
I'm going to say you can try and you'll get an advantage on grappling, but that's it. You can't engulf.
Do you have any idea how protective I get over girls who have shown me even the slightest bit of attention over the years? I might be toxic, but that toxic personality is turned into acid damage, which is going right down your throat. And I try to punch my one slime hand down her throat.
So here's the problem. You get accuracy on throws up to 30 feet, so you definitely would have hit her if you threw it. But you're trying to punch her.
5.
That's going to miss.
I now see the error in my ways. I tried to justify toxic behavior.
I'm glad you see that, because she's going to be mad.
I got some shit to think about.
Aki looks over at you kind of happy and whatnot, though.
No, don't support that behavior. I need to get it out of my system. It's bad. I grew up in a bad place. Had some bad friends that taught me some stuff.
Haru's going to jab his quarterstaff into the ground and jump forward and throw out a flurry of blows. I mean, he hit. She sort of
ones.
takes it and is like, oh, okay. Justin, your fire hair goes out and your bulked up body comes down. You've still got your wings and you can feel magic still coursing through you. You're not as strong as you were a second ago.
I think I'm just gonna false life myself, so I get another 6 temporary hit points.
So it's Fuyu's turn. Haru's standing in front of her, having just thrown out all these punches at her face. Next to him is Kendall, who's just sort of arm outstretched next to her head because he somehow missed her. Jace still has his warhammer in her side.
Second orgy of this game.
She's gonna go a chill touch. She's gonna try and do it on your warhammer, actually. She's gonna grab it with one hand and then touch you with the other, Jace. She's gonna grab the warhammer and then miss you.
Classic idiot.
She's gonna turn on you all and lift her hands, and slowly she'll float up.
Does that opportunity attack or should...
No.
Uh,
The icy aura is preventing. Aki's gonna throw another dagger. It's gonna
so cold.
critically miss and instead hit.
Please be me.
It's gonna be you, actually. Just
Yay!
you were right there. You're gonna take 2 piercing damage.
Ah!
I'm gonna give her the old vertical slash, except with a hammer.
So you go to do this, and your tentacles are just flowing everywhere. 2 are holding on to this hammer, and you go to bring it down with this super flary front flip, tentacles floating throughout the whole thing. You just miss, but you land, and you kind of gymnast stand. 2 tentacles up, 1 big warhammer above you.
Yeah, well, I've got an extra attack, so I'm just gonna throw the hammer at her this time.
Let's do, because it's heavy and because you have the extra arms, we'll do strength. I know you got a high strength, but you're still gonna need a good roll to hit her.
11.
You're not gonna hit her. You're gonna throw it. The handle of it's just gonna knock her leg and just falls to the ground. The hammer's just on the ground.
Shit.
What the
you're
fuck
not-
is this fight? Can I just point this out?
All right, Fuyu. Time to give you what I give every girl I meet. Burning sensation! And I throw alchemist fire at her. That's 3.
I'm giving her 1 extra damage for the heat
Nice.
of the fire, but she's not gonna stay on fire.
Come on, Haru.
Shove the quarterstaff into the ground and use it to front flip towards her and try and bring it down on her head. He's gonna hit.
This fucking guy.
Hit well too. He just smacks her straight in the center of the head.
No one likes to show off Haru.
For the first time, she looks a little hurt. Her head goes down and hits a microphone somewhere.
Always a microphone. Gonna mosey on up and try and give her a draining kiss.
What's it need to be?
15.
I got 13 plus 1, so 14. So you got it.
Ooh.
So you just grab her by the cheeks after she's been belted in the forehead with a staff, and you just plant a big one on her.
Oh, guys, come on.
And from that, you suck out some of her life force. I'm going to give you a little extra because she's godly powered up. So you're going to do 9 necrotic to her.
Yep.
And you're going to gain. I'm going to give you 10 for her godlike energies.
I'm gonna tear my my lips from hers and be like, and then like all of my skin has like ripped off onto her face. I'm like,
You're frostbitten for sure. Yep.
I don't know if I liked it or hated it.
Yeah. Like most sexual encounters. All right, so it's her turn. And she's looking at you pissed.
Understandable.
It's like some confusing phrases. Don't worry about it. So she's rightly pissed, right? You've just drained some of her godlike ability and given her necrotic damage, which is quite foul. She's got a nat 20. Don't get crits on spells, but I'm going to say she grabs you and ice just travels up one of your arms and it is useless to you now. You're going to take 9 damage.
Well, shit.
That was just give and take, wasn't it?
It
was.
It's like, I don't know. I'd have if I could take 9 from you, you bitch.
Yeah. Aki's turn. Still using all her magic to sort of maintain the area. So all she's doing is throwing daggers with this dagger because it just travels straight through her, takes off her ear, and like blue blood comes out of it. Out comes out the same sparkles that all the creatures were disappearing into before.
So I would like to use my great axe and just give her 2 schmacks. That'll be a 4.
You're gonna miss. Give me your athletics. Let's see how you miss.
22.
So you miss her and you just keep spinning around her like in a full loop. and you're building up momentum. It seems like you might be able to do something with this on the next turn. That's what I'm gonna give you with 22.
I look at Jackson, and you can't just go around like kissing people. You and I are gonna have a big talk about consent when this is over. And then I jump at Fuyu, and I try to grapple by forcing my remaining slime breasts into her face.
She's gonna have to do a save for that.
I'm just like, ah!
She's not going to, so you are gonna get her.
Oh.
Nice.
So you've got her grappled.
I'm just like pushing her face into my...
And I did say you can't engulf anymore, but I was going to give you advantage on grappling, but you got her anyway, so
Yeah,
she's
grappled.
not really going to be able to move unless she rolls out of it.
When the breasts motorboat you. Do something for
'Cause,
once, Haru.
He's sort of looking, trying to find an opening because you're just all over this girl after telling someone off about consent. So he's just going to go for a good old whack on her legs with his quarterstaff. And he's going to miss. Rams that staff into the ground next to her foot. And Justin, it's you.
I'm going to use the power of suggestion. I suggest that you don't struggle against those titties in your face and you probably just let it be. I'm not telling her to not breathe, but I'm not telling her to breathe either.
So wisdom?
Yeah.
That'll be a 17.
Son of a bitch. Send the dog.
Just give me a constitution.
All right, it's a flat 10.
She gets over to her, but she can't do anything. Rolls over with her big head and her body just struggling to move her the whole way. Kind of doggy paddles on her side with her face scraping along the ground. Gets all the way there and is like, opens her mouth and that's it. Who's going to go an attempt to get out? So give me 2 rolls.
11 and 14, so 14.
Yeah, I had 12. So you keep her. She's not getting out. She struggles like all hell. She's trying to talk, but she's just suffocated by your gelatinous boobs, and she's
grandma
somewhat motorboating you at this stage.
Okay, so I see the grapple go on, and while I'm in my spinning motion, I'm going to use that to sort of leverage, and I'm just going to like try and lumberjack chop her fucking legs off.
Oh, you're going to try
great
and
axe.
plant a leg in, stop the spin in her.
Yeah, and just hit her once and then hit her again, provided obviously I make the hit.
Give me
lumberjack
strength
okay.
and then go for a hit, because you're going to need the strength of that leg to stop your spinning.
Well, that strength will be 18. Oh, sorry, 18 plus 4. So that'll be
Okay,
22.
So you stomp that leg into the ground hard. The ground actually cracks as the speed of your spin comes around. Now go for a hit.
2.
With an attack I would have given extra damage to because of the speed, you just swing straight past her and your axe hits the ground and actually wedges hard into the ground. You narrowly miss Kendall.
I'm going for another swing anyway. I'm gonna give her a bit of a poke with the trident. Just 4.
So she takes the hit and she starts bleeding, and again, more light and sparkles start just billowing out of this, and she screams into Kendall's boobs, just...
Surrender! And then I lick my finger and give her a wet willy.
I need you to roll a con save for me.
That's an 11.
Your pinky just frosts over and falls off. Haru's just disappointed that his hit didn't hit, so he's going to go for flurry of blows on her back. He's going to miss. This weird monk dude who's kind of stoner-esque with his kimono and pink hair is just throwing punches in the air.
I'll catapult the axe. You know what? I'll do the hammer because it ain't wedged into the ground.
Okay, probably a better
Yeah,
idea.
let's do that. So that's 13 bludgeoning damage.
She's actually going to fall over on top of Kendall in his boobies.
Not what it looks like, Aki. Not what it looks
Kendall's
like.
on his back with Fuyu just in his chest. So she's going to try and get out of that grapple. She's screaming like into the boobs, and she's just so mad. There's light coming out of her side with the trident poke. What,
This
did she
was a
get out?
5.
This was an 18. Because she's laying on top of you, she's going to take her freezing hands and put them on you and just lift herself up. And she glares at you, Kendall. She is mad out of pure rage at this stage. Earth tremor. And everyone, because you're all too close, are going to have to try dex saves.
15.
6.
That was about a 7.
That's going to be 6 for you there, Jace. Justin, that's going to be a hard 7 on you. She's on top of Kendall. She's lifted herself up, icy hands on him, and just no spell casting required from deep within her. She's just screaming. Ice explodes out from her and the ground shakes so bad. I think because you're within her like bubble of protection, you weren't harmed, but the other two just fall on their backs. So they're going to have to use some movement to get up. And they've taken some damage like in that fall. So Aki, seeing you under her, and she's somewhat straddling her, goes into a bit of a rage and runs over and attempts to just plant a dagger in her back, which she does.
Yay!
And again, light just like billows out of that injury.
Half my movement. All right, well, I'll use the other half to get right up in her shit. Give her the old stabberino twice with my trident. 5 and 11. I don't think I hit on either of those, do I?
Disorientated from the earth shake, you manage to right yourself, run up to her, and with the trident, you just swing it both ways. And maybe because you're worried about hitting Kendall, but you just go both sides of her and miss.
I think back to the old days, how we would deal with trouble on the mean streets of Barrel. And I picture myself driving in a car while a complete stranger's on the side of the road and go, "Sup, cunt!" and throw a glass bottle at her. This is an acid vial.
You don't get her in the face or anything, but somehow your throw like goes up, flips a few times in the air and comes down and lands on her back. And it bubbles around that injury, making more spots of light just come out around the dagger in her back. Haru sees this, runs over with his quarterstaff, and smacks her straight in the face with a critical hit.
Dude, Haru, take it easy, for fuck's sake.
So he smashes her nose to bits. Blood explodes, but then somehow sparkles come out.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk up. I'm going to thrust my crutch at the dagger in her back and try and like thrust it into her deeper.
Jackson, for fuck's sake.
2 damage.
So you can do 2.
What if I at the same time use Mage Hand to help thrust?
From behind you?
Giggity!
you can have 2 more. You can have 2 more. Unfortunately, you're also going to have to do a con save for me because her back is covered in acid.
Crap.
You thrust into this dagger and it pushes it further in, and then this slack hits and knocks it even further in.
Total 11.
It singes all the pants around you off.
Oh no.
So you're now
Your pantalones.
in your underwear with the junk pushing against a dagger in this girl's back.
And then me and Kendall like lock eye contact.
Eiffel Tower!
Yeah.
This is not family friendly anime. Fuyu is enraged. So she's gonna pull this dagger out of like her garter and try and strike Kendall with it. So she hits the ground next to you, and you are a lucky person. We're over at Aki, who stabbed that dagger and is standing back just in shock at what Justin's doing. She has no weapons, so she's actually going to just try and pull Kendall out. And she just kind of fumbles and falls on her butt.
Do I still have the trident in my hands? Yeah, because
Yeah, you
I
do.
just missed. So I'm going to put that between my thighs and try and thrust her from the front. Twice. 10 and a 1.
So your first thrust just... You can't get a grip on this trident. So you try twice and the trident just... Did you say a 1 though?
Yeah.
It falls into the ground and just
No, Panda.
smashes up into your groin and just really hurts. I'm going to roll a d4. You're going to take 1 crutch damage.
Damn it! That's my favorite damage.
To not receive.
I'll be there soon, Aki. I just gotta deal with this this banshee situation. Yeah. If she's full on top of me and I can't do stuff, I'm just gonna like try to smother her in the tits again. 13 for me.
You got a hold. So you just wrapped around her. Haru can't see much of an opening, and quarterstaffs aren't great for poking, but he's seen everybody else poking this girl, so he's gonna try. He's gonna miss, and in fact, he's gonna hit Justin.
Why are you hitting Jackson?
That's going to do 8 damage, my dude.
For fuck's sake, with a stick.
With that, it's Justin's turn. She's grappled. He's
So-
grabbed her and he's holding her, but your crutch was on her, so you kind of like fell forward. So she's kind of a sandwich between the two of you right
It's
now.
like Dustin
Still
and I
got the
just like,
eye
are we making eye
contact.
contact?
The whole time. You know it.
Good lord.
I have one frozen arm. It's making life pretty hard for me. So I'm going to attempt to grab the frozen arm and tear it off and use it as an improvised weapon and just try and beat this woman to death with my own arm.
Con
That's-
save for the tearing it off.
Fuck! It's a 9.
You tear it off, but you drop it.
No! Panda! Get the arm, Panda! Beat the woman with my arm.
Panda kind of grabs your arm, but she doesn't have the strength to lift her own head, let alone the arm. So she's just holding it, kind of pathetically
She's
laying on
eating
her
it.
side.
Eating it
holding
like it's an icy
holding
bowl.
this frozen arm in her mouth, being like, my tongue is stuck telepathically to you.
Stop eating my arm. That could have went better. I'm not gonna lie.
You got a 9. That's not on me. So Fuyu's going to take that dagger that she tried to take Kendall out with. She's going to try and... Well, she's got to get out of this first. So she's going to roll a dexterity with disadvantage because 2 people are on her. You're not technically grappling, but you are on top of her.
I didn't do well,
Alright.
7.
Yeah, I got 2 15s. She gets out. She sort of rolls Justin off, who with his one arm just falls on his back on the ground next to Panda chewing it. She stands up and looks down at both of you and throws a dagger straight at Kendall's face,
Ah,
which is an 18. It's going to do 5, and it's just lodged in the side of your head.
surprisingly, not that bad.
Just but a flesh wound.
You'd think this would have more effect on me, but
Aki's going to
the same
stand
about
up
the
and
arm.
run over and grab you.
by the knife or.
Literally
I
by
got
the
one in my
knife.
back and one in my head. I'm just like,
She just manages to pull you to her feet, but the roll was so bad, that's all she managed to do with that.
Try and stab her again with the trident. First shot is an 8.
That's not going to hit.
The second's a 12.
That does hit.
4.
Kendall, it's you. You're standing by Aki. You've got a dagger sticking out of your head. You're a little dazed. So I'm going to give you disadvantage this turn. There's a dagger in your head.
yeah, that's fair. So what you're saying is, I have access to a new weapon.
I guess. You're going to have to con save to get it out.
Do I have enough strength to grab the frozen arm and swing Panda attached to the arm?
That's
Roll me a
literally
strength.
exactly what I was planning on doing.
Roll me a strength with disadvantage because of your dazedness.
Or a 14, so 12.
All right, roll to hit. You pick it up and you throw it.
5.
You miss.
My arm!
Panda's like a frisbee around this arm, and she just sails straight past this chick who is like light billowing out of different spots, bleeding blue ear, bleeding on her back. Her back is bubbling from the acid, and this thing just flies past her head. Haru, seeing that no one's connected to her now, runs over with that quarterstaff, and he's just going straight for her face, which he hits. Just smacks her in the face. Just straight. He already bloodied up her nose, this time straight across the forehead, and her skull caves in. And all the light just comes out her mouth, out her eyes, and just... And you guys return to your normal bodies standing around in this field.
Start
Christ.
running around trying to find the lollies that have exploded out of this pinata.
Right,
Where are they? Where are they?
Haru, don't you think that was a bit excessive? All right.
He's going to turn to you and be like, I need a drink. And he's just going to walk off.
Okay. Fine, take that attitude.
Give him your last vial of acid.
Aki's going to look at you, Kendall, and then at the stands where she sees Natsu, who just sheds a single tear.
Fuck you, Natsu. Fuck you.
And
So-
Aki says,
Hey, how's it going?
She says, I can return you to your previous lives, or you can stay and live it out here with us.
Depends on how much Dr. Pepper you have.
However, she can do nothing for your arm and nothing about that dagger. The magic here can sustain you guys, or you can go back to your lives.
Can I go back but keep my tentacles and fine ass anime titties?
No, you guys are back in your normal bodies. The other thing
Look at my
that's
normal
different is
body.
Kendall's missing an arm, and
No, Justin's
Justin's missing an arm,
arm.
and Kendall has a dagger sticking out of his head. Neither of them are in a great deal of pain somehow, and you'll still feel like you have stronger than your normal human bodies going on, but not a lot otherwise.
Yeah, I'm liking this world a bit. I know that seems a bit genocidal and full of crazy sacrifices and magic stuff, but yeah, I could give it a go.
Is it just us left and 3 weird gods though? Because that's kind of strange. Like, I know you got yourself a girlfriend, but like,
Let's not move that fast. Like, there are sparks, but we don't need to put a label to it.
That's the most poly response I've ever fucking heard.
Speaking of which, if any of you are going back, can you swing by my place and tell my girlfriend that I'm away for a bit?
So, you guys hear a roar. Crystal ball appears where her body disappeared, where Fuyu's body disappeared, and breaks. And out pops the Seraph Dragon, and that's the end of the game.
oh.
Wait. So, am I going back or what?
That's it, man. You ever watched an anime before? Closure is not a thing.